Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Wrestling Tea Tarot. I am Calypso Vibes here with my partner, Jude. We are going to get into Hulk Hogan is today's video. And as you guys heard, I just want to start by saying RIP, rest in peace to Billy Graham. He died yesterday. And I've been wanting to do Hogan, and it was just interesting that I knew I was going to end up recording Hogan this week, and then Billy Graham passed away this week. And if you guys are unaware, Hulk Hogan is like
Billy Graham 2.0.
Heavily, and I mean heavily inspired and kind of like an evolved version of Graham, right? Like Vinny saw Billy Graham, but Billy Graham was a little bit older and, you know, fought San Martino and all that. And he was looking for a younger version of Billy Graham to, you know, lead his company. His, you know, once he bought it from his dad, he was looking for his version of a Billy Graham. So Hogan was the, you know, really good embodiment of Dusty Rhodes and Billy Graham put into one. And they both have inspired him deeply and immensely. And he talks about it all the time, whether it's wearing the tie-dye and the feathers and the boas, and whether the finger, you know, the finger wag that he does a lot of both of them. And there's no doubt in my mind that those two are the most influential wrestlers of a lot of wrestlers, but particularly Hulk Hogan. And he doesn't deny it anymore. He used to, but he doesn't anymore. And he's very much more honest these days. And I'm hoping that means that Hogan's taking some kind of spiritual journey or pilgrimage, because if you look at a lot of his earlier interviews, he tried to act like he created this character from scratch and all that. And it was just like, bruh, you are lying. You are fugazing yourself. So I'm glad he's living a much more honest life in the older, later years in a lot of these documentaries that we're seeing him in. I also read that he might be going on his farewell wrestling tour with, I think Bischoff talked about it, like in Australia or something like that, because if you are unaware, he has had a lot of heat in America, and pretty much got canceled in America for a few racist comments and statements, and using words that are really not okay, right? And I say this all the time. I don't care if you talk to people who use the N-word. It ain't never okay for you to use it, especially if you aren't of the culture. So with that being said, and I don't care to hear the comments of, oh, it's a double standard. I don't care. That's irrelevant. It's the F around and find out method, right? You're comfortable to say it in this group of people, and then you say it around a different group of people, and you might get knocked out. That's just the way it is. And I feel like Hogan got dealt that same card, but on a public platform, right? Like on a public scale. Oh, you know, I've been around friends and people who say it and use that word, and I grew up around that word, and, you know, I thought it was okay, but yet, you know, say it out loud. And, you know, he was recorded, and at the end of the day, it was really foul that he was recorded saying this in private to people, and it got leaked. But at the end of the day, a lot of people chose to exile Hogan, and specifically a lot of black wrestlers were not okay and comfortable with working with him in the future, or, you know, just doing business with him or welcoming him back into WWE after he has been recorded not only in an adult film tape saying the word, but also on a phone call conversation talking about his daughter, Brooke. Better not bring home no Brooke N-word. So I feel like I need to talk about that, because I want to see where he's a fallen star, right? The star that shined the brightest that then took a fall from grace, because we got to see and hear a little bit more about the Hogan behind closed doors. You know what I mean? So I always say, if they talk like that behind closed doors, they are bound to slip up and say it in public, right? And I'm actually shocked he's never said it in public or slipped up saying it in public, to be honest.
TNT has a documentary that's coming up as well.
Right, with the Gawker. Yeah. So he also has a TNT documentary coming out here soon. So, but I have to be honest, like I was telling Jude, I really think the public persecution has been extreme. And it's gone on way too long, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, for me, I'd have been okay with him just doing some community service to, you know, the black youth, and like donating some money to like some, you know, children, you know, young youth black organizations, and going to get him some sensitivity counseling, whatever. and moved on. Let me tell you, people do far worse things and have done far worse things, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Let's be honest. There's been somebody who has hit somebody. I think there's even somebody who's like murdered somebody that's in the Hall of Fame. We got abusers, all kind of things. And Hogan hasn't done any of that we know of, right? If he has, it hasn't come out. So I think that there are people who have done way worse, who haven't been ridiculed at the extreme Hulk Hogan has. And at the end of the day, the reason why is because Hulk Hogan has been, that's what I'm saying, is the biggest star there ever was in wrestling.
It's almost like people expect that his real life has been red and yellow Hogan his whole life. Like the black and white NWO Hogan never existed.
Right. And it's weird because I'm like, he is a human.
He's a human.
He's a person, and he is allowed to make mistakes. And at the end of the day, you got somebody like Logan Paul who has used inappropriate language, has said the N-word himself, all kind of things. He's said and done a lot of inappropriate things, and now he works for WWE. And people are forgiven and kind of acted like they've forgotten that he's had a lot of inappropriate moments and has said,
Orton.
Look, yes, Randy Orton.
Out here playing COD with no act right.
Right, playing COD and Call of Duty and has said it. It's just interesting. AJ was recorded in a car, was recording a podcast and was talking about The Rock and used the N-word. Like, let's not act like there aren't a bunch of wrestlers who have used the N-word. I don't get why Hogan got persecuted as strong as he did. And I'm saying this as a black person. Like, I absolutely think people are allowed to dictate if they choose to like him or deal with him. I just think there's things that could have happened. And I do think he needed to go away for a little while, right? And, deal with himself. But I do believe in redemption, the redemption story for certain things, right? And as long as you haven't harmed a person, assaulted a person, or, harmed someone, at the end of the day, it's all forgivable. Like, people make mistakes, people grow up, people change. A lot of people, and I say that honestly, like, if you grew up in a racist household, it's hard to not be indoctrinated to be that way, right? It's not until you get out of that environment and explore the world and realize, holy crap, like, I've been wrong and it's not okay and things like that, and I don't want to hurt people, right? At the end of the day, he had a very big fan base that got hurt, right? Because this is the guy that they had posters of on their wall as a child. And for all intents and purposes, I think it speaks to how big Hogan really was and still is in the modern era, that people got that offended and felt that, slighted and hurted by it. So that's really my opinion, is that I think Hogan, even now, I don't know about right now in 2023, but like when these incidents happened and, all this news broke, and then the Gawker, the Gawker lawsuit broke, I think it spoke to how much his star never dulled, right? Like, his star still was as bright as it ever was. So I think, before we went live, I struggled with all these emotions, and I'm still feeling all these emotions. They aren't mine. They're Hogan's emotions. I feel a lot of sensitivity right now because, again, the passing of Billy Graham, I was sitting there like feeling lightheaded, cried a little bit, and I'm like, this is so weird. Like, felt dizzy, felt all this anxiety. So I think today Hogan's heart is extremely heavy, and a lot of nostalgia, a lot of remembering, reminiscing, because at the end of the day, that's another person from their era gone, right? And even a role model and like someone who really, without his existence, I don't know if we get to Hulk Hogan. Definitely don't know if we get to Hulk Hogan being as big as he is, right? So I think there's a lot of reflection in his heart happening today. And hopefully we can see a little bit more about Terry Bollea, the human, the person. Again, this isn't me condoning anything Hulk Hogan has said or done. I try to really take my personal feelings out of things like this when doing these readings. So
Terry Bollea said it. Hulk Hogan didn't do those things.
Right. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, I I want to be able to tell this story, and hopefully it doesn't, you know, if you're offended, I'm sorry, but, you know, I'm trying to really get to see what's going on Terry's heart, and, you know, who he is more as a person currently, and, you know, the journey from Hulk Hogan to who we are, you know, where we are now. Zodiac number, he is a Leo, by the way. He has high ambition and assertion. You always look the best of life. You have the strong willpower that fills you with the enthusiasm to conquer against all odds. So no wonder Hulk Hogan was extremely successful. He's a Leo, right? This need to persevere, and, you know, we're like, oh my God, the high assertion makes so much sense, right? Like Hogan winning the belts all the time, asserting himself, right? That, oh no, you wouldn't be where I am, and reminding Vince, like, that I'm still this big star, and just being super ambitious. And it makes a lot of sense that he has a strong willpower, right? and this kingly energy to him, right? The Leo, the lion. He is pleasure and creativity. The fifth house represents creativity and self-expression. We know the character, Hulk Hogan. And then the NWO version of him, Hollywood Hogan, right? Also offspring, and is also associated with romance and affection. My guy he's a little bit of a hot, you know, a hot booty. You know what I mean? Like that lion is king of the jungle and king of the bedroom. I don't know what else to tell y'all. It's coming through even in his cards that he's creative, but he also likes pleasure, right? Triple H. Life path 3, the socializer, right? Creativity, a lot of creativity with Hulk Hogan. Holy crap, right? 3, the socializer. I hate to admit it, like we've told y'all, a lot of life path 3s tend to be liars. That's just the truth. Life path 3, the socializer. Creativity, self-expression, fun. Remain optimistic yet realistic in the face of difficulties. So, you know, we have the socializer. Then we have destiny number 11. Inspiring others, living a spiritual life, and showing light to others is in your destiny for this life. Right? So it is his life purpose to inspire people, right? And showing light to others is in your destiny for this life. Keep check on nervous tensions and take material life lightly. Well, I think Hogan struggled with that, right? I think he didn't know how to take material life lightly. And I think he suffered with a lot of anxiety and nervousness of any time he saw a younger wrestler coming up, right? This real protective, the lion energy, especially Bret Hart, right? Because Bret is the next big mega star after Hogan, right? That becomes the flag bearer for the company. And I think he was always threatened by that.
The next one that was allowed to become that.
Right. But at the end of the day, I think, and honestly, to that degree, you would really say Macho Man is the next flag bearer, to be honest. Just sitting here like Macho, because while he's gone. But we also know Macho got shelved before Hogan, which I still find to be super interesting, that Macho was considered too old while Hogan was allowed to then take the belt from Yokozuna and carry the belt again. Like, it's crazy, like, thinking about it, how Macho Man got shelved. And we know about him and Macho having beefs later and stuff like that. I think he was very territorial to a fault, right? And I really don't think he knew how to pass the torch right until later, right? Until he's old. But he's definitely materialistic, unfortunately for him, right? And it's kind of against his life's journey and purpose. We have power number 5. Reevaluate what it means to work with freedom. Work with the constructive use of freedom. Live a life filled with travel and adventure, and embrace a life of progressive change. So he has to evolve, right? He has to be progressive. He has to, you know what I mean? The universe is telling him he has to get hit with the times, right? Progressive change, flexibility, and uncertainty. And he has to get used to things not always going his way and being planned out, right? That was his power number, right? And I don't think he was always comfortable with uncertainty and not living this luxurious lifestyle and things as we're seeing. So let's get into the reading, you guys. Again, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. I repeat, because I ain't looking to be sued. I come with good intentions. I come with the good intentions for the good of all and harm to none. This reading is on Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. We are going to look into, you know, the life of Terry, a little bit more of the human side of him, and see what we can see about his evolution as a man, and how he feels about, you know, wrestling in his career and what's going on with him, and, you know, what he may be feeling and things like that. But again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. This is all hypothetical, all in fun and good spirit. And let's get into it. If you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. We are Wrestling Tea Tarot. We appreciate you tuning in, watching. We would love for you to like this video, subscribe so you can catch more of our videos. We would love for you to watch it all the way through and comment. Let us know what you think and what else you would love to see from us. We appreciate you watching, and we appreciate you if you subscribe and like the video. And we plan to make much more videos for you in the future. What's all those notifications? Okay, let's get into it, you guys. All right, so we have wisdom, entanglement, creation, spring, and remembrance. See, he's a remember berry right now. I knew it. See, let's see if we can get like 2 more cards to fall, you guys. I'm using like a spiritual deck. It's a spirit, you know, you know, the spiritual side. Actually, I'm gonna just put it right here for now so it could cleanse it a little bit. And then we have love. All right, so let me get it in order again. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes. We appreciate you watching. Again, this is on Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. We got love. Let me get these in. I got to get these in alphabetical order. So give me entanglement. No, creation. Sorry. Creation, entanglement, love. And then, okay. Remembering, and spring, and wisdom. All right. Creation, you guys, is expression. There we go again, right? Living in his life path of this expression, conception, and completion. Creation is more than bringing something into being. It is an opportunity to tap into our hidden talents and skills. Creation is a way to connect with ourselves. When creating, we can be uninhibited, playful, and fully engaged in the moment. Find a place where you can create freely. Take the time to finish any projects you have previously started. This is wrestling for him. Wrestling is a creative outlook and creative output for Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, right? This is how Hogan, you know, liberates that freedom. He was always destined and meant to be creative, and the creating that character. He loved creating Hollywood Hogan and Hulk Hogan, right? Being this bigger than life role model. Because by the way, that's his life purpose too, is to inspire others. So it's definitely in Terry's wheelhouse. He was always gonna be a star, is my point, right? Like, it was in his wheelhouse to be a socializer. He's great with people. He's great with inspiring and creating. He has a lot of great creative input and creative ideas, which, by the way, I think if he was allowed to creatively put more things together in TNA, and if TNA had a little bit more funding, I think Hogan could have had a lot to offer TNA. When they first started TNA, he was on the creative team. He had a lot. He had a lot he could have offered. We're looking at entanglement next. The entanglement card, you guys. Entrapment, manipulation, confinement. Entanglement is the feeling of being trapped in an unhealthy situation or relationship. Oof. Are you caught in a love triangle? We know I got the love card, so it's real. excuse me, guys, it's true, because I just burped too. Trapped in an unhealthy situation or relationship. Are you caught in a love triangle? You may find yourself entangled in an unpleasant situation at work. Ooh, is he creeping at work? Scroll back up. Someone in your life could use manipulation as a tool to keep you in a state of confusion. Have the courage to break unhealthy ties to other people. Leave unpleasant situations behind you. Oof. There's that entanglement card. So he is caught in some kind of love triangle and being manipulated by the, you know, maybe two women or a particular woman. And yeah, he got some kind of love thing going on. What are you saying? I don't understand.
Barber.
Right? I don't know. It may be Brutus. I don't know. Allegedly for entertainment purposes.
You didn't say it. Linda Hogan said it in her biography.
Yes, Linda Hogan implied, in case you guys are unaware, Hogan's wife for, God, I think they were married, what, 20-some, 30 years? And probably together like 35 years. Linda Hogan implied that there was always someone else in the marriage and in the relationship. She implied it was her, Hogan, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. That is alleged for entertainment purposes. That was in Linda Hogan's biography book, is her saying that, you know, Hogan and Brutus, you know what I mean, was much more than just friends. And if you looked at Brutus back in the day, Brutus went I'm talking about tied to the hip of Hulk Hogan. And at times it looked a little, you know what I mean? I don't need to paint the picture. Go look at old videos. I'm serious. Go look at some of them older videos. You'll see what we talking about. That's all I can say. Self-love, vulnerability, and romance. Love requires vulnerability. It is a teacher and healer. Loving yourself without conditions prepares you to love another person wholly. Be gentle with yourself and practice self-love. Your heart is a sanctuary. So Hogan needs to work on some self-love. He has self-esteem issues. He needs the love card. He needs to work on loving himself. He's not in a good place of loving himself. And he needs to, you know, so he can love people better. I don't think Hogan is a good lover in the sense of he doesn't know how to love people wholeheartedly, right? There's, with this entanglement card, and you know, probably some self-imposed restrictions and blockages of the heart keeps Hogan from, you know, being a better lover and receiving love in a healthy way, right? Probably doesn't have the most healthy love relationships in his life right about now. And that's at least what I'm saying with this entanglement love card. It's kind of messy. And for a spirit card to be this messy, it means it is messy. This isn't even one of my messier decks. This is the Spirit Shadows kind of deck. That's like what's going on behind the scenes, and it's messy. What is this? Remembrance? We have the Remembrance card, you guys. So hopefully y'all can see that. This light and glare at times with cards like this. But that's the Remembrance. Past memory reflection. Remembrance is the act of remembering. Take time to revisit your past. I told y'all he's being a member berry today. Yeah, I remember, you know, with the passing, right, of more elders. Reach back into your memories and reconnect to younger versions of yourself. Spirit is telling him to go back in time. Honor memories of loved ones and friends. See, it's telling him to honor those that he does love. And he loves Billy Graham. Reflect on who you have become. Be careful not to romanticize the past. So yeah, he's got to be careful of not flashbacking so bad that he, you know, that's an interesting thing to say. Don't romanticize the past, right? Don't try to butter it up. Don't create this illusion of the past. Release what you need to, and remember you exist here and now, not in the days gone by. So yeah, Hogan likes to live in the past too much. He does a lot of yeah, I remember when I was the greatest wrestler of all time. Yeah, you know, I'm still the greatest wrestler of all time. Like that kind of talk, right? And I'm not saying Hogan probably isn't the greatest wrestler of all time or one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, right? But when you see that remembrance card and know, yeah, I remember. Remember?
I remember. Speaking of don't romanticize the past, right? I mean, under no circumstance is Hogan one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's one of the greatest superstars of all time.
Right.
But Hogan's ring work is mid.
Right.
He's a great entertainer. I mean, I was a Hulkamaniac when I was a kid. Of course I was. But we who were kids during Hogan's heyday, well, Red and Yellow Hogan, and WWF Hogan's heyday, do romanticize that about Hogan, which is why he fell so hard, because people had this image of him. I don't know what lenses Hogan is looking through the past at. Like, I don't know if Billy Graham, helped Hogan at all, or if he thought, if Billy was trying to protect his spot.
Right. But
I mean, Billy had already been, knocked down by Backlund and all that.
Yeah, but I also think Vinny did Graham dirty, because he took his gimmick and literally just plastered it on Hogan. And Hogan then took it to the next level of, this I'm a real American guy, and looking at, because the times, people don't understand how, oh my God, how crazy patriotism was back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like, patriotism,
Reagan era.
It was everything back in the day. So Sergeant Slaughter and then this guy who says I'm a real American were like iconic and pillars of American culture.
Absolutely.
So you take that and it makes you be larger than life. You become bigger than life. You are the symbol of America to some degree, and wrestling was so big back then. That's why he is so iconic and so big. Because you're talking about a time when there was limited TV sets and limited channels, and wrestling was on all the time on those limited channels. And you're talking about like when they debuted at Main Event, they said it was 26 million people watching. 26 million people for the debut. Wrestling doesn't even get a quarter of that now.
Nope.
I don't even know if they get 10%.
They get about 10%. Like SmackDown gets about 10% of that.
Okay, there you go. Do you hear that number difference?
Raw gets less, but SmackDown gets about 10%.
That's drastic. That is a drastic fall off.
Dynamite gets like 3% of that.
Yes. So that's how minute AEW is to that bigger, the WWE market.
Different time.
Different time. So different.
Barely any competition.
And barely any competition.
On what's on TV.
Well, on TV, not in the territories, though.
Right. No,
so yes.
You got 4 channels. What are you going to watch?
Yes. So, and New York was the biggest market back then, which is where WWE come from. Is from the mecca of wrestling, right? So we have spring as our next card, you guys. We don't want to go on that too long. Spring. So he's definitely remembering today. Renewal, vitality, beginning. Spring is a season of life that can be brief. It's wisdom. Spring is a season of life that can be brief or long-term. Spring brings the promise of a new beginning. It is a budding romance, a new job, novel ideas, or a fresh start. Now is the time to sow the seeds that will bring future abundance. Spring is a season of renewal. Embrace the vital energy it brings into your life. So he's working on something that's going to bloom in the spring. And I wonder if this is his retirement tour that we've been hearing about. But something's going to come to be that's a big deal for him in the spring. And it's going to be bountiful of abundance for him. It's going to whatever it is in the spring is going to reap a lot of money and abundance for him. And he's planting the seeds for a tree. If you look in that picture, it's, the planting of, planting, harvesting, right? Like planting to bloom something that's going to be big. Like the fact that it's showing like a very big tree it's a big deal, whatever it is. I wonder if he's looking for a retirement match, but from what I understand, his body's not in shape for a retirement match. Not even like a tag match, right, can be done. So, I don't know.
Right. Like,
it's interesting.
I don't think he can take a bump.
Yeah, it's what it's like. I've read that he can't take a bump, so I don't know if there could be some kind of cinematic send-off.
Flair just did it.
Yes, and I, mean, I don't know.
This
maybe
man
he could
is
host.
in terrible shape.
Yes, and maybe he could host something, and you know, I really think it should be like a Hulk Hogan roast. Not roasting him in comedic ways, but matches of people who, because I feel like that's what Ric Flair should have did. It could have been, you know, Ric Flair introducing a new generation of wrestlers, but they want to pay homage to him, right? And, you know, whether it's, you know, emulating some of his iconic matches and or emulating the matches themselves, right? Like he fought Dusty in a cage match. You could have had a next-gen set of wrestlers fighting in a cage match that's like Starrcade, right? A Starrcade-themed match. I'd have loved to see a pay-per-view built around his iconic matches. Yeah, you're welcome. If any person out there steals this idea, you're welcome. But yes, like they could do the same thing for Hogan for the future generation, like an NXT kind of thing or whatever, or even at Mania. Something that pays homage to Hogan's legacy through the years and also is like a farewell to him from the business. Even though I don't think he's really ready to let go, but at some point he is kissing immortality of this member berry. And I hope no more scandals come out from him from this entanglement, seriously. And then we have the wisdom, the crow showing up, bringing the wisdom. Understanding, advice, and guidance. Wisdom is a deep level of understanding. Someone you know may be going through a tough time and can use your advice. In what way can your wisdom be the help to others? See, Spirit is telling him to fulfill that life purpose of guiding and helping. This is what Hogan is supposed to be doing in his older years. You may need the wisdom of another at this time. Do not hesitate to seek much needed guidance or advice from someone you trust. So, you know, whether it's him needing advice himself or being a mentor, a tutor. Like I said, this creation card says he has a lot to offer to the business. A lot. And I really wish he wasn't so, you know, wasn't so outcasted from the business, because I really think Tony Khan can benefit from a lot of Hogan's wisdom. And to try to not make the same mistakes TNA and them have made. And WCW. He was there. He was there for both at the start of both of those companies before they just, you know, plummeted and made a lot of major mistakes. And AEW is losing momentum. So he is meant to mentor and give guidance and, you know, feed this creativity into younger wrestlers, right? And because this has been the only thing he's ever done, I say wrestling, right? I think he should write another book. He should. And I think he needs to stay off podcasts because I think his stories are muddled. In these documentaries, we tend to see his stories be all over the place. Like 1 minute you'll watch a video from 5 years ago where he says it happened one way, and then you like look at a modern video, it's another way. So I don't know if the brain is as sharp as it used to be, right? But I still think he could still do a fun podcast, maybe not so wrestling heavy, right? But I think Hogan has a lot to still give, and he does have a lot of wisdom. I would love to see him mentor some of the younger generation and give some creative input.
All right, we were just reading how Billy Graham had wanted to, you know, come into NXT after Dusty passed.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if Hogan had run the promo class in NXT after Dusty?
Yes.
Like, guys getting to learn from both of, you know, two of the best promos in history.
And I think they should. Like, it's in his cards that he would be a great teacher.
Especially because Hogan pretty much never put anyone over to give back in that way.
Oof, I saw cards wanting to flip, and then I don't know, they kind of got, like, stuck in my hand, so let's see if we can get this. What do you think of the cards so far?
I think it's, you know, kind of telling a full life that's got some unfinished business, some regrets in it. You know, again, if that's because he fairly notoriously didn't give back a lot in the business, right? I mean, Hogan was said to have, you know, bigfooted and held people down.
I'm sorry, y'all. Pulling these cards and I'm closing my eyes because some of the rumors, I don't like putting people's personal business out there, like when I'm doing these readings, and I know that's part of the tea, but all I'm going to say is I'll let the cards speak for themselves. And let me tell you, Linda Hogan ain't looking too wrong. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Sounds like a Lizzo song.
What?
All the rumors are true.
All the rumors are true? Yeah. Ooh, and that's what I'm saying. People aren't ready to hear that. I'm just do these cards, you guys. Because Hogan represents this masculinity and people love him so much. And I'm just like, I'm not looking to like talk about the Brutus, but that entanglement, love, and then when y'all see these cards come out, it'll make much more sense. We have the unconscious, memory, urges, aggression. So, a lot of memory and urges. And by the way, he has urges. So, there's that love and that, those urges and being, you know, gosh, I'll be trying to say these things on YouTube. The unconscious to me speaks a lot, right? It's, if you look at it, it's like a shadow. It's like two faces. It's two sides of a person. That's Hogan. Hogan embodies a split personality, like these alter egos, as you can see, and you know, is filled with memories. So he's definitely, again, we are reconfirming the memories, right? Being a member berry, reminiscing, but he has a duality to him. That's why you see the split sides, this dark side, these urges. So there's the light and there's the dark. And Hogan is really both. The judge, retribution, triumph, and discipline. I wonder if he's in some legal battles or something legal coming up. Because we're seeing the judge. Someone wants retribution. Remember that entanglement that said that be careful of manipulation? Someone might be bribing Hogan or like holding something over his head. But you know, we got retribution, triumph, and discipline. Or if he's like winning a legal battle or something like that, right? But there's a judge involved, which means there's always, it's some kind of legal, or he's being judged, right? But there's retribution, triumph, and discipline. He's going to triumph in something. There's something legal going on that I don't know if we necessarily see. And is seeking retribution. We have the abundant. There's that money again, that prosperity from the spring. Nurture, comfort, need. There we go. The abundant. Hogan's money. Like, even now, as a fallen star, he's still profitable. And, you know, we're seeing, you know, being judged, right? This two-sided unconscious, right, with urges and aggression, but seeking retribution and triumphing with the judge. But we also see nurture. He's needing to be nurtured. The love, right? The heart, the heavy heart, and that comfort is constant reconfirming the first deck. It's crazy. And the needs of, with the urges and the needs, right? But also the abundance in the spring. And then we have the future. This is confirming the timeline of spring, the future, right? Adventure, luck, affinity. So again, confirming the prosperity in the future, right? He's looking towards the future of what projects can I do to bring in money, because I got needs. I need to fulfill this, you know, material possessions, these needs and urges that he has, right? And lifestyle.
Yeah, and he's also a nearly 70-year-old man with a beat-up body. He needs certain things just to function.
True. But yeah, there's that future card though. He's working on future plans, and an adventure is coming.
Or the Becky Lynch card.
Whatever. The Glacier. Withdrawal, fragility, coldness. Again, another duality card showing up where we see like this stoic face with this cold face. So like his public face is different than who he is as a person. And again, it's more duality from Hogan. Like constant reinforcement that there are two people who reside in Hulk Hogan.
We've had this conversation, right?
Unlike Ric Flair, he has this fragility to him and coldness.
Unlike Ric Flair, who is Ric Flair 24/7, right?
Right.
Terry Bollea.
He means when he says that
Hulk Hogan
he has
is a
two identities.
manufactured persona that Terry wore for business purposes, and when he sued Gawker, like, no, you can't say Hulk Hogan did this and that. Because Terry Bollea did those things. You're messing with Hogan's money.
Right.
He's a completely separate person from Hulk Hogan.
Or he believes that. The Dreamer. Solitude, understanding, intuition. Right? There's the dreaming. That's that creation. That's that I want to create. I got visions. I got goals. I got dreams. Oh, I would love to do this. He's a dreamer. Right? Always in the mind. If you see the machine in the mind, like the cog, the machine's always working in the mind, right? The mind's always going 1,000,000 miles a minute, right? But, you know, he's in solitude today. I also think his heart and head is heavy. Like he's being a member berry, right? So he's thinking, remembering, and in the mind, if you see it's got like a lot going on, a lot of things going on, understanding. But I also think he is intuitive, right? That he can sense a lot of things going on around him, right? But then we have the intimate. I tried to save this. All right. I'll do this one first. We have... Wait, what? Oh, where is that written?
Oh, no.
Who said that?
No, this is from back in, Linda.
Linda, wait. Well, Linda said
this is talking about like the things that Linda has said.
Right. But we have the secrets. Unknown, dark, the obscure. He has secrets. It's more of that entanglement, hiding, right? Ugh. Whenever I see this secrets card, it means it's something dark. And it could also mean occult, right? It can mean, when we say secrets, you know, like a secret society, secret order, you know, like dark secret, dark, right? Hidden, very hidden secret, right? And it says unknown, dark, the obscured. So you won't see it, right? And it's, you know, that's why it's called the secrets. And if you see it, there's webs being weaved, and the symbolism on this card is very deep, right? Again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes. I repeat, again, all alleged for entertainment purposes. But he's got secrets that people don't know about, that he keeps hidden. That's why there's all this hidden face, right? Excuse me. I'm telling the truth because, boy, my throat is choking up, like not wanting me to tell. He doesn't want people to see it. There's two faces that exist, and it's some dark secrets to that other side. And the intimate, fear, incompatibility, and love. If you see, it is two lovers, right? So, it's more of this love entanglement card coming up, right? With two lovers. There's something going on with this secrets, entanglement, love, and two lovers, and the intimate. And there's a fear of this secret, right? And incompatibility in love. And I don't think whoever one of the lovers is compatible with him now in his current journey. But there was love there. So you got fear, incompatibility in love, and the intimate. And two lovers. And if you see the fracture in the middle, remember where it says you got to be careful of that entanglement, people being manipulative and trying to keep it a secret and hide behind these two, hide behind these two faces. I am burping. It is confirmation. Woo-wee. Yeah, buddy. Hogan's love life. Yeah, buddy. Take what you want from that, you guys. Again, it's all legend entertainment purpose. We are Wrestling T-Terra. This is all Hulk Hogan, Terrible. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell if you're enjoying this reading. We would love for you to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think in the video. Please make sure you like and share. It helps us grow the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. I promise our videos are entertaining. They'll make you laugh. We would love to grow this community so we can continue to do these readings. But if you don't subscribe, then we think nobody's enjoying it, you know? We would love to know what you feel and think about it. And also turn on that notification bell to know when we do more videos. What do you think of the reading so far, Jude? What do you think of this deck and the first deck coming together?
You know, when you were talking about the Glacier card, and just some of the sort of general things, right, where he doesn't want people to see that other side of him, right, because the Hogan persona is so big and so bold. It's always been bigger than life. But, I mean, we've seen it after the, you know, the controversy, not even the Gawker stuff, but the N-bomb stuff, where he was, you know, WWE cut ties, and then when they eventually brought him back, you could see all in his face the expression of, you know, the crowd not loving him like that anymore, right? When he's WrestleMania 37, right, where he and Titus are hosting the show, and the crowd is just so flat for Hogan, and it's completely different from, oh, I'm heel Hogan and I want this heat. Like, this was just an indifference, and I really think that there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of weight on his heart about not being loved, even if he's loved as you know, Hollywood Hogan the heel and has heat. But the fact that people were just like, oh, this is go home heat, right? Like, no, we don't even want to be entertained by you anymore. And I think that's a heavy burden, and why he wants to, you know, retreat into his private life to some degree. Yes, at this moment, he's got to be heavy, just, again, seeing that mortality. How old? Billy's what, like 10 or 13 years older than Hogan? But just seeing that, you know, the fate that, you know, really awaits all of us, but for someone who was a colleague and an inspiration, he's felt a lot of that.
I think that might be all the messenger has to say on the heart. Investing. There we go. All right. I think we're going to stay here because I think it's just confirmation of everything I pulled in the beginning. Oh my God. Like, serious confirmation of what I said in the first two decks. Again, we appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I am Calypso Vibes here with my partner Jude. This is Wrestling T-Terra. Again, we are doing Terrible Hulk Hogan if you are just tuning in. Yeah, we appreciate you watching our videos. And would appreciate even more if you subscribe. Again, remember, this is all allegedly for entertainment purposes. We come with good intentions. For the good of all and harm to none, we are just telling Terry Bollea's story, aka Hulk Hogan's story, of formerly of the WWF, WWE, TNA, WCW. My guy has lived a long life and a fulfilled life, New Japan, all of that. So let's get into it. He is anxiously waiting. They search for you in everything, feel you everywhere, always in the back of their mind, hoping they run into you. So he is anxiously waiting about something. and has a heavy mind. Remember that mind, the dreamer, a lot of things on the mind. Anxiously awaiting something. Potential. They're deep in their thoughts about you, realizing their distractions prevented them from seeing the potential in you. The potential card showing up, right? So now we got anxiously waiting and potential. A lot of thinking about somebody, thinking about different people and things, right? Heavy on the brain energy. Love is a fire. You set their heart on fire and the soul ever burning and unquenchable. It's a natural and undeniable question. There's that love showing up again, right? This thinking, can't stop thinking, the potential showing up again. Excuse me, you guys, the coughing and the stuff like that. But, yeah, buddy, it just be confirmation and, you know, sometimes like, ooh, stop talking, right? Don't tell. So forgive me, trying to push through. Investigating. They are secretly snooping around and asking friends about you in order to see if you're dating someone new. So remember, 2 lovers involved. This is someone snooping, right? To try to see if you creeping in the streets. So investigating, right? Someone is investigating him. Someone is watching, observing, snooping. Betrayal. Their fleeting heart will only end up betraying you in the end. Your soul deserves better. There's betrayal afoot. So we got investigating and betrayal. And it's all allegedly for entertainment purposes. Ain't looking to be sued, but I'm just telling the story. I'm just letting the cards do the talking. All I'm doing is reading them out. Solitude. Time spent in solitude is giving them a chance to get to know themselves better and set a more solid foundation. So there we go. That more of that solitude, right? Sitting alone, being alone, alone in the mind. You know what I mean? Hibernating. While having love and a lot of other heavy hearts on the mind, right? Twin flame. You don't have to be or do anything for them to love you. Their higher self wants union as much as you do. So he's got a twin flame in his life. Someone he burns hot with. Twin flame. At last, they don't want you to give up now when you've come this far, because it will all be worth it in the end. There's the at last, right? Someone's trying to keep a hold on the Hulkster here. The coldness is showing up again, the confirmation, right? All this love confirmation as well. They feel you pulling away. So this entanglement is messy, y'all. They feel you pulling away. They wish they can pull you back and convince you they're worth keeping. There's that coldness on Hulk, right? But he's got betrayal afoot, right? That's that judge, right? The judge, someone snooping, investigating. I'm telling you, I hate to say it. I really do hope another scandal doesn't pop out. Because he has money, a lot of money in abundance and plans afoot. And this betrayal and all that could become public and messy. So I hope not for his case, right? Energy cords. Despite the distance between you, they still feel the energetic cords that is keeping you two connected. Good Lord, this man's love life is like all in his cards. Right? That's in that desire, them urges. All of this is showing itself. Right? But also the coldness is showing itself. Right? A lot of energy cords. The player lifestyle that once defined everything they did has stopped looking enticing ever since they met you. So, you know, Hogan's been out there like, big pun, I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. So there's the player card. But someone has gotten, you know, Hogan to you know, finally maybe calm them urges of being a player, allegedly for entertainment purposes. But there's the dark side card, and it is showing itself. And it is a dark side card that's just as dark as that secrets card, if y'all remember. And I told y'all they was like making me in the throat. It's showing itself again. They have a dark side that no one knows and feels it's their true side, but too afraid to show you. So there's that hiding. So not only is this a confirmation of hiding his true self, but it's also that secretive side and hiding them secrets. And it is something dark, right? That dark shadow we saw on two of the cards, the two-face cards and the secretive card, and this messy love. But like, there is something very dark urges and player and entanglement, and he ain't shown us who he really is, and it's something dark and secretive and and messy. Let me put it that way. And that's, you know, I'm gonna put that dark side with the secretives and the entanglement, love and urges card, and the two-face card. That's showing up. That was the confirmation I needed of all this secret, dark, two-face energy. These cards here, to me, just reconfirmed the first two decks. If you ask me personally, there's not a card that seemed offbeat at all. It was just reconfirming the story for me. Again, it's all legend for entertainment purposes. I hope you guys are enjoying the reading. We'd love to know what you think down below. What do you think?
I mean, I agree with you that it's absolutely reconfirming. I wonder, I mean, look, he had his second divorce in, I think, 2021 from the wife after Linda. Like, they were married.
You mean the one that looked like Brooke? Yes. That's a whole nother can of worms.
That one, yeah.
And I mean identical. It was kind of creepy.
They were married, what, from like 2010 to 2020, 2021.
Right.
So, I mean, that's still...
I didn't know he divorced her. I didn't know they got a divorce.
Divorced 2021. So, yeah, Linda divorced in 2009. Linda's book came out in 2011. And he was with Jennifer from 2010 to 2021.
He can't keep women.
Well, I mean, those are both pretty long relationships.
Yes.
In modern times especially, 26 years with Linda.
I understand that, but my point is because wealth and money will keep you married a long time.
Yes.
Like, I hate to say this about women, but it's true. Like, women will eat. They'll let you have a whole nother lover, a whole nother life if they get to be comfortable and live a luxurious lifestyle. And everything about Hogan is luxurious lifestyle. That dude lives in a means that's far different than most of Americans.
Right. I mean, he was probably the first wrestler that literally made money moves, right? Like, when he left the AWA, that was strictly a money move.
Right, he was the first biggest paid person. His brand has been eaten, please.
The first, merch crusher, all of that.
Right, they got paid enormous amount of money by WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding me? Then got repaid again another set of bags to go back to the Fed.
I'm not talking about the money he got from Gawker, by the way.
Right, then got paid millions from the Gawker lawsuit.
Was awarded $115 million. I think settled at 30.
Crazy. Hogan has always found money. That abundance is real.
Gawker was forced to pay all that money for reporting something that actually happened.
Right.
But that was a fact.
Isn't that crazy?
Wait, what?
Isn't that crazy? They had to pay out for telling the truth. This is why journalism is dying. Because if you tell the truth, well, I'm suing you. And you can get sued for telling the truth. And lose that fight. Just to aggressive lawyers. And politics. That's the reality. He represented... I said that. When Terrible Leia was on that stand with Gawker, I think he was by himself in the beginning. He made calls and his lawyers, I'm positive, I really feel like they changed in that lawsuit.
So that Silicon Valley guy, oh my gosh, hold on, I can tell you his name. Peter Thiel. Right? Helped Hogan to finance the lawsuit.
Because he was after Gawker. You see that? Told you. Told you. Rich people who got a thing to burn because you telling the truth about them. Yeah, money will change everything. Money will change everything. Say what you want.
It's funny that you would quote Cyndi Lauper just then.
Yes.
Given, her role in the success of WrestleMania.
Right. Money will change everything. So, yes. There's a coming out card. Allegedly for entertainment purposes.
Well, I was actually a little
All I'm doing is pulling cards. Allegedly for entertainment purposes.
Well, I've been over here looking. So, this book came out in 2011. Linda Hogan's book. But I'm also seeing, commentary and discussion about it in, 2021 and 22. And I'm not really sure why. I feel like all of the activity around it where, Brutus was threatening to sue and, Hogan responding to the claims, would have all happened back at that time. It's a little hard to keep up with sometimes, just the way the dates that show up on some of the reporting.
Oof.
But who do you think the twin flame would be? Because I would assume that that's still Linda. Went through so much together.
Said a new love. That's what it said. There's that justice again. There's the witch showing up again. The priestess.
And it is hilarious to me that both Vince and Terry married Lindas who know where all the bodies are buried.
Yep. Absolutely do.
Lisa and Linda.
Boy, there's them urges showing themselves. Alright. Because his deck is talking a lot.
I see that.
A lot. Oh, Lord, he can't stop being a pleasure seeker. He might be an addict. Like, these kind of cards, allegedly for entertainment purposes, allegedly for entertainment purposes. It's giving it urges, player, entanglement. A few other cards are giving maybe...
Really trying to be that wheel of the line.
Maybe an addict. Addicted to the sins of the flesh. Alright, so we got helpful people. I told you he had help. Told you. He's always got somebody with money helping him. Helpful people. Someone will be generous. Told you. Always someone wealthy helping him. Someone will be generous to you. People willing to help, accept help from others. Who's coming in to help him that's wealthy?
Harry Emanuel.
Who's coming in to help? That got a lot of money for Hogan. So we got the helpful people with money coming in. By the way, this is the last deck, you guys. So we appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Priest is a light. Your light shines for others. The world is your oyster. Powerful manifester. Told you, Hogan has money. He's always found money. He is a powerful manifester. By the way, if you look at this card, the secretive card, right? A little bit of we got the secrets, right? That look like a dark witch, and then the dark side looking like a dark witch, right? Like, he's always been able to manifest what he needs when he needs it. Legacy, contribution to future generations. Remember I said that he needs to be giving to the future gen. An enduring impact, earthly possessions. And there's the earthly possession showing up. So that's legacy. There's his legacy. His legacy is to contribute to future generations. I really wonder if he's going to be called in to NXT or something.
Right. One thing, I mean, people say, oh, you know, Hogan, he specifically would limit his ring work, right? Because he didn't want to give a lot of bumps. He didn't want to take a lot of bumps. And obviously his body has still been through, you know, the grinder.
He might be helping someone now. We just don't know it.
But I think he is honestly blessed by that decision, because I feel like his mental faculties are still intact.
Right.
You don't see Hogan taking chair shots like that.
No, not at all.
He wouldn't do it.
Right. Smart.
And that's smart, because now at nearly 70...
He's able to be in all these documentaries.
I think Hogan is still, you know, clear and lucid. If he has difficulty keeping up with a story, it's more a question of, well, what embellishments did I say to who?
Right. Waiting for something, someone, delaying action, patience. That's that, sitting idle again, showing up, right? He really is waiting on something. Closing, coming to the end of a phase, the conclusion of something, completing a cycle. So something's coming to a close with a relationship, possibly. Justice, we saw the justice card. It's showing itself again. Doing what you think is right. Only honesty brings success. Spiritual order and truth. He's got to walk in truth, y'all. Spirit is demanding it.
I mean, he professes to be a person of faith, right?
Right.
And that's not just, you know, from the say your prayers and take your vitamins era.
Drastic changes, destruction of the old, unpleasant surprise, a wake-up call. Direction, being on the right path, finding direction in life, your own North Star. Good for him. But there's some drastic changes happening in his life. He's definitely leaving a legacy behind. We know that. Transformation, heavy on this. Closing of a cycle, drastic changes, transformation. Undergoing a dramatic change, separation from the old life, dying to the false self. We might see more of real Terry coming out soon. Pleasure, allowing yourself to have pleasure, sexual chemistry with someone, doing something pleasurable. Boy, there it is again. That pleasure, love, lust. Afterlife, blessing of a long life, death and rebirth, reincarnation. Yeah, the afterlife card is showing up. He's had a long life. He's been blessed, but we have this death, rebirth, and reincarnation, transformation, and drastic changes. I don't know. I don't know if that means... I don't know. I don't speak death over people. I don't know if that's necessarily death or death to Hogan. Like him finally being willing to walk away from the character Hulk Hogan. Drawing closer. Something is around the corner, attracting the right things, bringing closer together. He's also going on a farewell tour. So this may be what it is, right? The death to... that cycle, and he's ready to start new and live a new life that's out of maybe so much of the public limelight and not be Hulk Hogan anymore. Drawing closer, something's around the corner, attracting the right things, bringing closer together. So something's drawing closer, right? He's, like I said, that working on things while in idle, seeking direction, on the right path. Here's that desiring again, yearning for something, someone, fantasizing, wishful thinking, a want, a need, right? Urges, good Lord, pleasure, urges, desiring. Like I said, I think he's an addict. I do. He's a legend for entertainment purposes. But he's addicted to feeling, you know, wanting something and fantasizing and wishful thinking and needs and urges and pleasuring. Starseed, old soul with deep spiritual wisdom. See that teacher. He was meant to teach that give back and the lessons and the creativity. I told y'all. Here to evolve spiritually. That's his life's path, is to spiritually evolve. Important mission in life. Hogan's a star seed. His purpose is here to give back and teach others and leave a legacy. And to evolve spiritually for himself. Dreaming. There's that dreaming again, right? Pay attention to your dreams, seeing beyond present reality, pursue your dreams. He's in the head. I told y'all, heavy on the dreaming and got goals and trying to figure it out, planting seeds, working on manifesting it. In your power, living from an empowered place, cultivating inner strength, working on that self-care, working on self-love, right? Yeah, living from an empowered place, cultivating inner strength, taking your power back. He's taking his power back, taking his life back. I think he, to some degree, feel like his life was taken from him. And then we got coming out. Oh, Lord. Make your presence known, coming out of a situation, emerging from inactivity. I don't know. He might be trying to leave one of those, other lovers or something. I think he's ready for a new journey. But that coming out, making your presence known, coming out of a situation, from that, I don't know. It might be the lover that's been around a long time. I'm going to just leave it at that. Y'all take it for what you want with that coming out card. Whew. I know what I feel and think, but I'm just going to keep it respectful on a few things. But I'm at least happy to see the star seed and the legacy, you guys. There's a lot of secrets. There's a lot of dark side. There's a lot of urges and things. A little concerned with some of that stuff. But, that's his business. And whatever's meant to come to light, well, we're in the age of Aquarius. So what's done in the dark is going to come to light and come out eventually. And there's this judge card showing itself. So there's going to be possibly some public judgment and stuff. So we'll see, though, right? But he is working on his self-love. He's definitely got a lot of money and abundance in his life. And someone with a lot of money and stature is going to help him. I don't know if he's financially in a good place right now. That divorce, if he did get divorced in 2021, she probably took a chunk of money.
Right. Linda allegedly took like 70% of their assets. Oof. And then he got divorced again. Oof. What did I say, in 2021?
Yeah, who probably took another chunk.
And now he's with this one. Sky Daily.
Oh, jeez.
I can't tell these two apart. That's Linda, not Linda. Jennifer, that's the last wife. The one that looked like Brooke. And this is the new boo who, since sometime last year, I guess.
But she makes him feel good. I'll tell you that. It's showing up all in the cards. The new boo is the spark. She's the fire. She makes him feel good, but it's pissing his other lover off, by the way.
Well.
You want me to tell you? All right, you guys, that's been Wrestling Tea Tarot. Tell me what you think to close out with me, Jude. I think Hogan lives a double life. I think there's some secrets that we don't know about Hulk Hogan. There's a dark side. There ain't no little bit. There's a dark side to him. He's got a cold face. It's that other side is cold. It showed up a lot. So, he's not as I love and care about everyone as much as he might want people to believe.
Right, that public persona.
It's a selfish, cold person that exists.
Well, he's gotten burned too. Not that he didn't deserve it.
Yes.
But he's gotten burned for being too much in the public eye.
Yep.
And now I think, he's dealing with a technology that's got to be so alien to him, even though he's a lifelong entertainer. But he's also almost 70.
Yes.
And, he needs to stay relevant to stay making money.
Yep.
But how do you do that without letting the world
see who you really
are?
Because the mask always slips when them cameras he's done reality TV. And that got him in the public eye, and it did not paint him well then.
Yeah, and being Terry Bollea don't pay the bills. Being Hulk Hogan pays the bills.
Yep. So I don't know what to tell you with that. It's an interesting read, and I'm glad I done them. I grew up watching Hulk Hogan, And he's definitely influenced my youth and childhood and my siblings. Oh my God, for sure. And I know his heart has to be heavy today. I definitely felt it, and that was genuine. I definitely felt the heavy emotion of crying before I did the reading, and the nausea and the isolating, and he's definitely like heavy in his own mind and head and solitude and purging today, because I felt that when I was sitting there. It took me a while, you guys, before I could sit down and do the reading. That's how heavy it was. With anxiety, I felt nauseous. I felt like all these different emotions that weren't mine. So I was able to make it through this reading, thank goodness. Like, I got it done. Took my body through a ringer, but I'm here. And this is alleged for entertainment purposes, but I am a real person doing divination. So I hope you guys appreciate the effort and the energy that's put into this reading. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Again, I'm Calypso Vibes here with Jude, and this is Wrestling Tea Tarot. This is the wrap-up Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. Would you like to add anything? Okay, you guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.